Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is me Fatima Khan, Business Wali. I am a student of Rehan AI Teachers Training Institute Batch 22. Today I am going to discuss a very important topic, that is the importance of empathy in leadership and teamwork with with ChatGPT. So today we will learn about this topic from ChatGPT. So let's start. Hello ChatGPT.
Hey there. Great to have you here. What's on your mind today?
Today I learned about the topic, the importance of empathy in leadership and teamwork.
That's a really powerful topic. I feel like empathy is one of those things that just changes the dynamic of a team, right? What stood out to you the most when you were learning about it?
What does empathy mean in leadership?
Yeah, great question. In leadership, empathy is really about being able to understand, share, and respond to your team's feelings and perspectives. So it's not just about being nice, it's about really tuning in, listening, and making decisions that take people's needs and motivations into account.
Why is empathy important for teamwork?
Ooh, yeah. So empathy is a game changer for teamwork because when team members feel understood and supported, they're way more likely to collaborate, share ideas, and feel trusted. It basically builds this foundation of psychological safety so people aren't afraid to speak up or take risks.
How can a leader show empathy in daily work situations?
Yeah, that's a great point. A leader can show empathy by really listening during one on ones, checking in on how people are doing, and just asking thoughtful follow ups. It's also about being flexible. Like if someone's going through a tough time, a leader who offers support or adjusts expectations shows that kind of care.
What happens to a team when leader lacks empathy?
Yeah, so when a leader lacks empathy, a lot of things can happen. Trust starts to erode, people might disengage, and you can get this kind of tense or even toxic environment. People just don't feel seen or valued, so collaboration and morale really take a hit.
Can empathy improve workplace productivity? How?
Absolutely. When people feel heard and understood, they're usually more engaged and motivated, so they put more effort into their work. It also reduces stress, which means fewer distractions and more focus. In the long run, that just boosts productivity and quality all around.
How does empathy help in resolving team conflicts?
Oh, it's huge for that. When a leader or even team members show empathy, it helps everyone feel like their concerns are being heard. That reduces defensiveness and it opens up space for real dialogue so people can actually address the root of the issue, find common ground, and move forward together.
What is the difference between sympathy and empathy in leadership?
Good distinction. So, sympathy is more about feeling compassion for someone's situation, but from a bit of a distance, like, I'm sorry you're going through that. Empathy, though, is about really stepping into their shoes, feeling what they feel, and understanding their perspective. So, empathy is just deeper and more personal.
How can leaders develop stronger emotional understanding of their team?
Yeah, a big part of it is just being intentional about connecting. Leaders can set aside time for open conversations, ask genuine check in questions, and even practice self awareness themselves, like being aware of their own emotions and how those affect their reactions. It's a practice, but it really pays off.
How does empathy build trust with a team?
Yeah, so empathy really signals to the team that you care about them as people, not just workers. When you consistently show that you understand their challenges and successes, they feel safer, they trust you, and they're more likely to be open and honest. And once that trust grows, the whole team just works better together.
Can empathy and authority exist together in relationship?
Oh, definitely. Empathy doesn't mean you lose authority. It actually strengthens it. When leaders combine empathy with a clear, confident direction, it shows they care but also have a vision. It creates a balance where people respect the leader and feel supported at the same time.
How does empathy improve communication in teams?
Yeah, for sure. When leaders or team members bring empathy into communication, it just makes conversations more open and authentic. People feel like their perspectives are valued, so they're more likely to share, ask questions, and really engage. It breaks down misunderstandings and builds a stronger team vibe.
What role does listening play in empathic leadership?
Oh, it's huge. Active listening is like the backbone of empathy and leadership. When a leader really listens, pauses, asks clarifying questions, and gives full attention, people feel genuinely seen. That trust and connection then fuel collaboration. So it all just grows from there.
How can empathy reduce workplace stress?
Yeah, it really can. When leaders show they care and acknowledge employees' struggles, it creates a sense of safety. People feel supported, so they're less anxious, and that can really lower stress levels. It doesn't solve everything, but it's a big step toward a healthier, more balanced workplace.
What are some real life examples of empathic leaders?
Yeah, totally. I mean, a classic example is someone like Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. He's known for really emphasizing empathy in his leadership style, both in product development and in how he treats employees. And even smaller scale examples, like a team lead who takes time to understand a staff member's personal challenges before assigning a project, that's empathy in action too.
How does empathy affect decision making and leadership?
Yeah, that's a big one. When leaders use empathy in decision making, they take people's experiences and needs into account, not just the bottom line. So they might make trade offs that prioritize long term well being or employee morale, and that often leads to more sustainable or trusted outcomes.
Can too much empathy negatively affect leadership? Why?
Yeah, that's a really good point. If a leader leans too heavily on empathy without balance, they might avoid tough calls or boundary setting. So it's really about balance. Empathy paired with clear structure and accountability, that's what makes leadership sustainable.
How does empathy contribute to a positive work culture?
Oh, absolutely. When empathy is part of the workplace, people feel more valued and respected. That creates a culture where collaboration thrives, people are more motivated, and overall, there's just a sense of belonging. That positivity then fuels creativity and success.
What skills are needed to become an empathetic leader?
Yeah, so a big one is active listening for sure. Also, self awareness, knowing your own emotions and how they affect others. Emotional regulation is key too, staying calm and composed. And then practicing curiosity, asking questions, and really trying to understand what's underneath people's perspectives.
How can teamwork improve when members show empathy towards each other?
Oh, it really transforms the dynamic. When team members show empathy, they feel safer to share ideas, ask for help, and take risks. That collaboration deepens in trust, and everyone feels more invested in each other's growth. So the whole team just clicks better and performs more smoothly.
Why is emotional intelligence linked to empathy in leadership?
Yeah, they're super connected. Emotional intelligence is basically the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and those of others. So, empathy is a big part of that. It's one of the core skills. Leaders with high emotional intelligence naturally tune into their team's feelings, which makes them more effective and trustworthy.
How can leaders balance empathy and productivity goals?
Yeah, that's all about setting clear expectations while staying connected to people. Leaders can show empathy by checking in, being flexible when needed, but then also keep a focus on shared goals and progress. So it's like balancing compassion with accountability. Both matter.
What challenges do leaders face when trying to be empathic?
Yeah, that's a real challenge. A lot of times leaders worry about being perceived as too soft, or they fear that showing empathy might slow down decision making. And sometimes, if they're not careful, they might take on too much emotional burden themselves. So it takes practice and good boundaries.
How does empathy influence employee motivation?
Oh, definitely. When employees feel understood and valued, they're way more motivated to give their best. They see that their leader cares about them as people, not just as cogs in a machine, and that drives them to put in more effort and stay engaged.
Can empathy help in managing diverse teams? How?
Oh, absolutely. When leaders show empathy, they're more tuned to different backgrounds and perspectives, so they create a space where everyone feels seen and included. That helps break down barriers, fosters collaboration, and ultimately strengthens the whole team's performance.
How does lack of empathy lead to misunderstanding in teams?
Yeah, exactly. When empathy is missing, people can misinterpret intentions or feel overlooked. Small tensions or assumptions just go unchecked, and that can lead to real friction or conflict down the line.
What is the role of empathy in conflict resolution?
Yeah, empathy is crucial there. When people feel like their emotions and perspectives are acknowledged, it diffuses a lot of tension. Empathy lets everyone feel heard, so instead of just arguing positions, people start to understand the root of the problem, and that opens the door to real solutions.
How does empathy impact employee retention?
Yeah, it really does. When employees feel understood and supported, they tend to stay longer because they feel a sense of belonging. So, empathy builds that emotional connection, and that loyalty keeps people engaged and committed to the team.
What would a workplace without empathy look like?
Yeah, it would be pretty cold and transactional. People might just focus on tasks, not the human side of work. So you probably see a lot more burnout, miscommunication, and even turnover. It just lacks that trust and personal connection that keeps a workplace thriving.
Okay, thank you, ChatGPT, for a great conversation.
You're so welcome. I really enjoyed this chat.
So, this is all about the conversation. I hope you learned something new in this conversation. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. Allah Hafiz.